You spend hours studying English, grammar rules, vocabulary lists, listening to videos. But by tomorrow, almost 70% of it is gone. It's frustrating, right? But here's the thing. It's not your fault. That's just how your brain works. It clears out information it thinks you don't need. But here's what's really interesting. In Japan, students memorize over 2,000 kanji characters, and they retain them for life. So how do they do it? Your English teacher probably never told you this, but the reason you keep forgetting isn't because you're not smart or motivated. It's because of how you study. Most people use traditional techniques like rereading notes, highlighting paragraphs, or watching endless videos. It feels productive, but your brain treats that like background noise, the same way it ignores an ad on Instagram. Be honest. How many nights have you spent highlighting every line in your textbook, only to go completely blank during the test? That's not because you didn't work hard. It's because of something called the forgetting curve, a concept discovered by German psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus. Here's what it shows. Within just 24 hours, you forget up to 70% of what you learned. By day 7, that number can go up to 90%. So if you're forgetting so much so quickly, how do Japanese students retain thousands of characters? And how can you do the same with English? That's where things get exciting. Because the solution isn't to study harder, it's to study smarter. Let me show you the 5 Japanese learning techniques that can help you master English faster, all backed by real science. 1. Active recall, the samurai memory technique. Most learners focus on input, reading, watching, and highlighting. But what actually strengthens memory is output, pulling information from your brain. Think of it like going to the gym. You don't build muscle by watching someone else lift weights. You have to lift them yourself. That's what active recall is. And it works because every time you force your brain to retrieve something, your memory gets stronger. A study from psychological science found that active recall can improve retention by up to 150% compared to passive review. So how do you use it? Simple. Close your English book, take a blank sheet of paper, and write down everything you remember. You can also try teaching the topic out loud to yourself. At first, it'll feel frustrating, but that's the point. That struggle is exactly what tells your brain, this is important. Keep it. That's why Japanese learners don't cram. They train their memory like a muscle. 2. The Kuman Method. Learn English in small, powerful steps. The Kuman Method is a learning system developed in Japan and used by over 4 million students in more than 50 countries. The idea is simple. Don't overwhelm your brain. Instead, learn in tiny daily steps. Research by University College London shows that micro-learning, learning in small chunks, improves memory retention by up to 18%. So if you're learning English, don't try to memorize 100 vocabulary words in one night. Instead, focus on just 5 words a day or 1 grammar rule per session, because when you study in small doses every day, the knowledge sticks. This is exactly what writer James Clear talks about in his book Atomic Habits. Tiny changes lead to massive results. That's why Japanese students don't cram before tests. They master a little bit every single day. 3. Spaced repetition. Watering your brain like a garden. Imagine you're growing a plant. You don't water it once and expect it to thrive. You water it at the right times, consistently. That's what spaced repetition does for your memory. It helps you review information just before you forget it. So instead of studying everything at once, you review it like this. After 1 day, then after 3 days, then a week later, and again, after a month. Each review strengthens your memory and makes it more permanent. According to applied cognitive psychology, spaced repetition can double vocabulary retention compared to cramming. Apps like Anki, Quizlet, and SuperMemo are based on this method, and they work wonders for English learners. Because if you review the right way, you don't just remember for the test, you remember for life. 4. Kaizen, 1%. Daily English improvement. Kaizen is a Japanese philosophy that means continuous improvement, even if it's just 1% every day. It may sound small, but here's the math. If you get just 1% better every day, by the end of the year, you're 37 times better. That's why Japanese students don't aim for overnight success. They focus on daily progress, and so can you. Here's what that could look like in just 6 minutes a day. 2 minutes of active recall, 2 minutes of spaced repetition, 2 minutes of speaking practice or listening. That's it. Because if you do this consistently, you'll improve faster without stress or burnout. 5. Suzu, the art of deep focus. In Japan, learners practice a state called Suzu, a calm, focused mindset where they become one with the task. It's not just about what you study, it's about how deeply you focus. According to the Flow Genome Project, people in a deep focus state can learn up to 5 times faster. So how do you create that? By using rituals that signal your brain it's time to study. Use the same pen. Sit in the same spot. Light a candle. Turn off your phone. Put on study music. These small habits create a powerful mental state, making it easier to remember and harder to forget. So think about the last thing you truly mastered. Maybe a sport, a video game, or an instrument. You didn't just watch someone else do it. You practiced, failed, tried again, and you got better. That's exactly how English works too. So stop relying on cramming. Start learning like the top students in Japan with smarter and proven methods. Here's what I want you to do. Try just one of these 5 techniques today. Then comment below and let me know how it worked for you. And if this helped you, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on productivity, language learning, and success.